Hello, 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 and welcome to the live. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on social media, just like I'm sure you all have, since Kendrick went to Toronto and shut it down. But what stands out to me, or what stood out to me the most, on top of the celebrations, of course, in Toronto, fully coming out and supporting Kendrick, was just how pitiful the usual suspects are. And I mean, Maul, DJ Academics, top 5, who I've referred to as bottom 5, who is I guess supposedly he's like some big thug in Canada that supports straight. And, some of the things that they've said and some of the things they are saying is wild. So what I wanted to do in this live is, one, I wanted to just kind of talk about some of the clips recently from DJ Academics and Bottom 5, as I call them. And also look at some of Maul's past comments about how Kendrick will fare in Toronto. And yeah, and just talk about it. But I came across this clip on X that was put together. It's 3 minutes and 18 seconds long. Let me see who it's by, because I want to make sure I give credit to who created this. Just a second. Let me see. It is created by Hill Power or High Power. High Power, I'm sorry. TD News created this, and I thought it was just a fantastic clip. So I want to play that before we get into the foolishness of these sad and pitiful people. Sad and pitiful people. All right, let's take a listen. Now, we don't even have to listen to the whole 3 minutes. We know that's how it went on night 1. We know that's also how it went on night 2, right? And so there's no mistake about where people were, where people stood on supporting Kendrick. No mistakes about it, no ifs, ands, buts about it at all. And so it was really, really interesting to kind of see how that was then kind of talked about afterwards by, like I said, I don't call them top 5, I call them bottom 5, by bottom 5 in academics. But before we get into that, let's play this right here. Hold on one second. Let me get it back to the beginning. I love this, and I'll shout out who created this after we play it. Just one second.
Okay, does this one go? Drop, 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 drop.
That was amazing. And that clip was put together by a page called King Kendrick. So I thought that was really, really great. But let's now kind of get into the thing that made me really want to come on and do this live. And it was DJ Academics and Bottom.
Can't go out there.
So here we go. Hold on, let me back it
Their
all
side
up.
too, you know. The J3 hitter said he went to New Ho King last night.
Liar. I FaceTime him. He's in California.
First of all, Jay Hitter 3 videotaped himself at this restaurant. I'm not sure when it happened or whatever. Quite frankly, I'm glad that these people did not run into each other because we don't need any blood spilled over this beef. And you know, one thing DJ Head points out when he talks about what's going on between Kendrick and Drake is real beef. It's not just a rap battle, it's real beef between them at this point. And so, but nobody is wanting anybody to like somebody associated with Drake or somebody associated with Kendrick, you know, spilling any blood over this thing. But bottom five, as I call him, who is the thug running behind Drake. He's going to Drake. I mean, going to what he thought was Kendrick's hotel and trying to call out people who are backing Kendrick. And I believe the guy who was looking for bottom five is actually Kendrick's cousin. So I'm glad they did not run into each other because, like I said, we don't need to see no blood spill over this thing. And I would tell you though, when Kendrick was in Toronto, I was so glad to see. And I would expect nothing less. He arrived how he should arrive. This is a mega star. This is a really important person. He arrived the way he was supposed to arrive with appropriate security. He left the venue both nights the way he should leave the venue with that amount of security because of who he is. Right. So I was glad to see that because while he was there, I set my prayers up and I just said, you know, God, please do not let anything happen to Kendrick Lamar while he is over there in Toronto because that's just a pain I don't think we need. We don't need that off of some bull. Okay. So I'm just glad he got in. He did what he had to do on a grand level as usual and he got out. But you got this idiot here, bottom five, who is friends with Drake. He's something with Kanye. And academics always has him on the phone, and he's an idiot. Academics is doing a lot of this shit for content. He's doing a lot of it for content. And you know, academics built his career on fanning flames, getting people upset, you know, trying to encourage people to fight. He started all of that in Chicago, you know, and so DJ Academics is very, very familiar with fanning flames to get other people to potentially shed blood while he hide in his basement. So I am so happy that these people did not run into each other because things could have went really left and DJ Academics would have still been in New Jersey in his basement, hiding out while other people are like dying in the street. But DJ Academics better chill too because you know one day some of that stuff may catch up with him because, like I said, he's big on fanning these flames.
He ain't go out there.
He's a liar, man. That guy is just a liar, man. I didn't call nobody. I went for myself. Well, 100 young boys trying to see Kendrick Lamar, man. Man locked the door on me, man.
First of all, you bottom five idiot. You bottom five idiot who just got out of jail or prison or whatever not too long ago. You said did he say he took 100 people with him trying to find Kendrick Lamar? See, and that's what I'm saying. First of all, this is why Kendrick has to have the level of security he has because of idiots like this. Idiots like this. And the thing about it is when all that was going on and he's trying to find Kendrick's hotel and he's running around with whomever he's running around based on his words, whomever he's running around with trying to find Kendrick, Drake, and maybe he did this and we don't know, but Drake should have been on the phone with bottom five and telling bottom five to stand down, don't do anything stupid. Because you better believe if something had happened to Kendrick Lamar in Toronto at the hands of this bottom five idiot, if Drake think he's suffering a blow to his career right now, it might truly, truly, truly be a wrap or there will probably be some retribution coming his way.
Next day, the emergency task force, everything.
Yo, listen. Yo, this is my only request, and you know me, and I'm making this request publicly. Number one, no violence. But let me say this, because
How you gonna say no violence? You're gonna say no violence, and at the same time, you're gonna be like, none of y'all showed up. I can't believe nobody rushed the stage. Ack was on his live the other night when the concerts was going on, talking about nobody could go in Philly when the whole thing was going on with Meek and Drake. Drake could have never went to Philly and said, all you Philly N words, whatever. He could have never done that. He said, yeah, he could talk about one person like Meek, but he could never talk about. So he said, he was calling out the lyric where Kendrick says Pac, he would never let a Canadian make Pac turn in his grave, and trying to flip that to say that Kendrick was talking about all Canadians when Kendrick, is very clearly talking about Drake. And academics was edging it on. Y'all didn't do anything. Y'all didn't come up. Y'all didn't show out. Y'all didn't do whatever. And now he's on his live the next day talking about, but no violence. That this is what this coward who hides in his basement, this is what he does.
my favorite city is Toronto. Y'all can't have a nigga from Compton make Toronto just look washed. That's my only thing. I'm not saying no violence or no nothing, but it's like I gotta see some pride, because it's kind of like he's moving kind of different, like
Yeah, but the way the crowd was saying one more time, that broke my heart, Ak.
Oh, you poor whiny bottom 5 Negro. The way they were saying one more time broke your heart. And what did you want to do in response to that, bottom 5? Bottom 5? I mean, I honestly can accept from you that it broke your heart. I mean, you are Drake's, whatever you are to Drake. You're riding around like you're his hitman. Okay? And this is y'all's hometown. Because I don't believe you all could ever go to LA and stand in a stadium and talk trash about Kendrick and have a whole crowd not only jumping up and down, but then demanding an encore of the song. Let me tell you, if that's possible, I'm going to have to see it. I'm going to have to see it.
Broke my, I can't even go out today, man. I can't even go out today,
yo,
man.
I was gonna come to Carabana, but I said I might have to.
The way the crowd was saying one more time, that broke my heart, Ak. It broke my. I can't even go out today, man. I can't even go out today, man.
I was gonna come to Carabana, but I said I might have to. Yo, I might have to link you somewhere else, bro. I don't know what's going on. Yo, what I know about Toronto, you guys are dope, prideful, energetic, cultural people. When I seen that, I said, yo, I never seen that part of the city that's dick riders.
So do me a favor.
How is it possible that he's never seen? First of all, academics doesn't have to go to another city to see a D rider. He only has to look in his mirror to see a D rider, because who could be any more of a D rider than him when it comes to Drake, who will not give him even the time of day?
Go tell Kendrick and I'll drop the police.
Nah, he's not gonna do that.
Drop the police.
Yo, I never seen that part of the city that's dick riders.
So do me a favor. Go tell Kendrick and I'll drop the police.
Nah, he's not gonna do that.
You're right. Kendrick is not going to do that, because for one thing, Kendrick is not some street criminal out here. Why would Kendrick do that? Why would Kendrick drop his security? Now, I think if anything, Kendrick would love to probably if you came up on him, and if it was a fair, fade, I'm sure he might be okay with it. But why would Kendrick Lamar, the Kendrick Lamar, drop his police, drop his security and everything to tussle with bottom 5. Why would he do that? Why would he do that? And for bottom 5 to even suggest to go tell Kendrick to drop his police and then he'll see what's up. Are you kidding me? First of all, and this is no fear, this is no threat, this is nothing. You know how ridiculous bottom 5 sounds? This is the Kendrick Lamar. You think he's gonna tussle with you in the street? Who are you? Who are you?
I said, yo, I never seen that part of the city that's dick riders.
So do me a favor. Go tell Kendrick and I'll drop the police.
Nah, he's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that.
Drop the police, bro. I'm not saying anything's gonna happen. Just drop the police. I'm in Toronto, brother.
Wait.
Hold on.
First of all, and why are you so anxious to fight Drake's battle? Flunky, bottom 5, why are you in such a hurry to get into some kind of physical altercation with Kendrick, which you will never even get close to Kendrick Lamar? But why are you in such a hurry? And then Ack has the nerve to say on here and call somebody a D-rider? If this is not D-riding, I don't know what is.
Do me a favor. Go tell Kendrick and I'll drop the police.
Nah, he's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that.
Drop the police, bro. I'm not saying anything's gonna happen. Just drop the police. I'm in Toronto, brother.
Wait.
Hold on. He's worse than Taylor Swift.
He's worser is what he said. He's worser than Taylor Swift. Here goes this bottom 5 talking like an idiot again. Taylor Swift is a mega star. Taylor Swift should come wherever she's going with a full convoy. She should. She's a mega star. Kendrick Lamar, he's a mega star. He should go wherever he's traveling with a full convoy, police escort and all. He should. How ignorant. Even the people who were on social media like, well, why he has all of that security? How dumb do you sound? And you know what it made me think about? It made me think about even some of the rappers who are not on the level of Kendrick Lamar, they are dead and gone now because they thought they were still good in the hood. They thought they didn't have to travel with security. They thought they could, have confrontations, drop their address, and nothing would happen. They thought they could be on Instagram shooting a video, maybe not even being aware that you're also giving your location, and people show up and these people are not here today. And so to have an idiot say, well, why you got to have security? I mean, is everything all right up there? What's up with your brain cells? What's happening? What's happening right now? Why would Kendrick Lamar not have security and security at the same level of a Taylor Swift or a Beyonce or fill in the blank of any mega star? Why wouldn't he have that level of security? Crazy.
Nah, he's not gonna do that.
Drop the police, bro. I'm not saying anything's gonna happen. Just drop the police. I'm in Toronto, brother.
Wait.
Hold on. He's worse than Taylor Swift. He has more cops than Swift. I waited to see him. I didn't want no violence. I just wanted to see him, meet and greet.
You just have a little conversation with him. Ain't nothing too crazy.
You see what I'm saying? Now, Academic's drunk ass. He just said a few minutes ago, and y'all, whatever. I started to apologize for my profanity, but I'm not. So let me rein it back in. Academics just said, well, just nothing too serious, just a little talk. See what I'm saying? Academics likes fanning the flames. He likes fanning the flames to kind of try to stir up conflict, stir up violence while he hides in his basement. He likes it. He's not outside. I've heard so many people that he talks trash about say, come outside. You academics, come outside. You are very good at trying to stir up stuff, get bloodshed going in the streets, but you're hiding in your basement. And this idiot, bottom 5, who thinks that Kendrick would want to come to him for one-on-one meet and greet. Are you crazy? Let y'all just meet one-on-one so y'all can tussle it out. Why would Kendrick Lamar do that with bottom 5? If the rumors are true, Kendrick was actually trying to get a one-on-one with Drake. If the rumors are true. Okay? But you bottom 5, you're nobody. You're nobody. You, like I said, you will never get close to Kendrick. Ever.
Hold on. He's worse than Taylor Swift. He has more cops than Swift. I waited to see him. I didn't want no violence. I just wanted to see him, meet and greet.
You just have a little conversation with him. Ain't nothing too crazy.
I got something special for him. I want to give him a meet and greet, man.
Yeah, nah, that's a good guy. It's just. I'm gonna be honest.
Nobody needs to hear that from you. Because academics, what you can rest assured on, just like, you've never seen Drake and you've been deriding him like down to the ground. You don't have to throw out, oh, he's a good guy. First of all, save all that. We know where you have literally picked a side. You have fanned flames to potentially try to bring violence to Kendrick. You have fanned those flames, and no need to try to throw out any kind of little nicety that's also fake. But because I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Kendrick Lamar will never do any kind of interview with you at all. So whatever that was for, you could save that. Even if it's for the appearance, to try to sound like, well, I'm kind of fair. I'm doing kind of both sides. Boy, please. Get out your basement. Come outside. You talk all that. You fan all these flames. You trying to get people to shed blood and fight and all that in the street. Come out your basement if you like that. Because you only seem to really be like that when you're confronting women. So if you're like that and you got all this, smoke you blowing and fans you're trying to flame with, flames you're trying to fan with these men, come on outside.
Again, I want nothing bad to happen.
Sure.
I just want to see Toronto.
He's short too. I don't need nobody for this guy. He's short.
Wait. Yo, they tell me he's jogging around the city. He's not jogging around the city, is he?
Probably. Bro, he has the same cops as Trudeau. Trump. And then they have the balls to tell me, these street Compton niggas have the balls to tell me, oh, he's the biggest rapper in the world. Niggas dropped his ticket price to $60. This is crazy.
He is the biggest rapper in the world. So that was bottom 5 making his comments on Academic's platform about how butthurt he was when he saw the crowd cheering one more time, and how he's still trying to tell Kendrick to drop the police. He just want to meet him. He just want to meet and greet. Ninja, you will never be in the same space with Kendrick Lamar. You will never breathe the same air that Kendrick Lamar is breathing. You are Drake's little thug, who I'm not even sure he's claiming publicly, but he has been in some pictures and stuff with you. Okay, and that might lead to some other kind of case we end up seeing one day, because what other things have you done for Drake? What other things might you have done for Drake? But all I can say is I am glad that Kendrick Lamar got in Toronto and got out of Toronto without any harm coming to him or any of his associates. So now let's take a look back, not too far back, at Maul and what he had to say he thought the outcome would be if Kendrick Lamar ever went to Toronto for a concert.
Drake booking a show at Crypto.
Of course.
Selling it out.
For sure.
People enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Kendrick is booking a show at the Scotiabank Arena and people not showing up to just boo him.
So this, I so despise Maul, y'all. Even when Maul was on the Joe Budden podcast, I could take him a little bit, but then he got to a certain point with some of his positions and his perspectives and how he tried to make himself be perceived. And I really wasn't feeling him all that much at all. I actually felt like Rory came across better than Maul did. But for Maul to say that he really believed that if Kendrick Lamar had a concert in Toronto, that the people would show up just to boo him. Is that what he said? Let's take it back a little bit.
I don't know if Kendrick is booking a show at the Scotiabank Arena and people not showing up to just boo him. Like, I don't think Drake gets booed in LA at the crypto at his show. I can 100% see Kendrick getting booed all night at a Scotiabank Arena show.
It's no.
You thought Kendrick would get booed all night in Toronto at the arena because it's Drake's hometown? That's what you said. And I cannot wait. I'm sure I'll see it on social media because I'm not following anything connected to Maul. But I'm sure I will see on social media because a lot of people are sharing this video that I'm streaming now on this live. And Maul is gonna dance his way around it. He's gonna dance his way around it so that he still ends up sounding like the same lame Drake defender. And let me just be clear on this. If Drake is your boy, he's your friend for real in real life. I don't have no beef with you like standing by, supporting him or whatever. But you can't be glazing it on your platforms, acting like he won the battle when he didn't, just ride or die to the point where you look stupid. And Maul has been looking stupid for well over a year now. So for him to say what he said, that Kendrick Lamar could not go to Toronto and fill a stadium, and if he did, the people would just be coming to boo him. I want to see how he dances around that, because you better believe he will. Do you think that Maul is going to say, you know what, y'all? My bad. I was wrong. I underestimated the support that Kendrick Lamar would get in Toronto. You think Maul going to say that? Maul is not going to say that. Maul is going to find a way to dance around these words that he uttered that a lot of people are sharing right now on social media.
Like, I don't think Drake gets booed in LA at the crypto at his show. I can 100% see Kendrick getting booed all night at a Scotiabank Arena show.
It's no secret that Toronto loves Drake. I would never debate that. And I think there's a large group of people that would buy tickets to go boo Kendrick Lamar.
See,
I agree with you, but you also have to think that Kendrick Lamar, for the last decade, has built a pretty substantial Toronto market.
No,
and Canada market as is, that are just Kendrick Lamar fans and want to go see him perform.
You missing what I'm saying. I think that Drake will do a show in LA. There'll be a lot of people there that will definitely support Drake. I don't think I could say the same as far as Kendrick going to Toronto. I think everybody that goes to a Kendrick show in Toronto is going there strictly to try to ruin his show.
You see what I'm saying? And do you see how he says it? Maul, no matter whatever he is glazing, but I've seen him be like this even on topics not related to Drake. He has a way of saying things like it is the gospel. Like, if I said it, you could believe it because, I have all of this integrity. So I said it. So you got to believe that I know what I'm talking about. And I find him often not to know what he's talking about, especially when it came to this whole rap battle between Drake and Kendrick. He didn't know what he was talking about at all. Okay. But I want to see how he dances around these words. How does he try to say, what will he have to say this coming week? Now that we've gone through the Toronto shows, they were both sold out shows, the standing ovation, the demand for an encore in Toronto. What say you now, Maul? What will you say?
Drake. I don't think I could say the same as far as Kendrick going to Toronto. I think everybody that goes to a Kendrick show in Toronto is going there strictly to try to ruin his show.
What?
And boo him. I think so.
I think there would be people that would do that, but not at
Drake is the biggest export out of Canada, probably.
Wrong.
Tim Hortons would like a word.
Well, second. Maybe third. The Maple Leafs is probably.
Yeah.
But after that, Kendrick is not the
Wayne
third.
Gretzky,
Kendrick is
Jim
not the,
Carrey,
Kendrick is not the third biggest export out of LA.
Beeves, bro.
Like you,
Seth Rogen.
Kendrick is not the third biggest export out of LA.
Lamar is so stupid. Lamar, I call him Lamar. Lord Jesus, forgive me, Kendrick. Maul is so stupid. Maul is so stupid. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Ish on the Joe Budden podcast. He does. Somebody, well, maybe I shouldn't be that insulting to Ish. But it's that same cockiness. I know what I'm talking about, and you don't. And you don't know what you're talking about. Clearly.
He's not.
Yeah, cocaine is.
Do think if Drake announced a show in crypto right now, it sells out. But I just think that a show in Toronto right now for Kendrick is different from a show in LA for Drake. I think it's different. I think
disagree with you there that it is different, but I just think you're underestimating how many Kendrick fans are in the greater Toronto area.
And Kendrick is one of the biggest rappers that we've ever seen, ever had. I get that. But I just think that this is very different when you talk about having to go to Toronto versus having to go to LA.
Mm.
Especially when you talk about the star power of Drake versus the star power of Kendrick.
I get it.
I just think Toronto, I just think Canada just holds it differently than LA holds. To see Drake.
So he said all of that to say that if Kendrick went to Toronto to have a show at a stadium, he said that he would see the fans or people showing up really just to boo him. That would be the whole reason why they've shown up. So look, I'm not going to keep y'all any much longer than this because I know a lot of people are talking about this, so I just wanted to add my 2 cents. I am very grateful again that no harm came to Kendrick Lamar when he was in Toronto, to him, to his associates, to anybody else associated with the show. I'm glad no harm came to them. I'm glad they were able to get in, put up the kind of show they put on for the people in Toronto who obviously were very happy to see him with a standing ovation on both nights. Demand for an encore on both nights. So I'm glad he got in and he got out. See, the thing I really don't like about, especially like on that clip we just watched with DJ Academics, how he fans the flames of trying to get people to get violent with each other and then say, but I don't want any violence, on the next stream. What I really despise about that is that we've seen what can happen in these streets with rappers, especially. We've seen it. We've lived through it. We've lived through, well, especially those of us who are a bit older. We have literally lived through the Tupac and Biggie situation. We have all lived through seeing what happened to Nipsey. We've lived through seeing what happened to Pop Smoke. We lived through seeing what happened to so many other rappers by violence in the streets. So for DJ Academics to try to get bottom 5 and his folks to try to do something in retribution for Drake to defend his turf, to me, that's indefensible. And I personally, I don't take it lightly. I don't take it lightly. Because you better believe, and I'm so glad it did not, so I can say this now because it's over, as far as Kendrick being in Toronto. You better believe if Kendrick had went to Toronto and something had happened to him, DJ Academics would be on his platform, creating content, trying to cash out, trying to also probably act like he was such a big fan and it should never come to this, and then get on the phone with whoever else to try to get content, sensationalize the moment. And that's why I don't respect, well, there's a lot of reasons why I don't respect DJ Academics, but I really don't respect when you fan the flames of violence and you hide in your damn basement. I don't respect that at all. Because see, it's all well and good because nothing happened to Kendrick Lamar. Nothing happened to him when he was in Toronto. Although Academics was trying to encourage people to like, y'all not riding up out there, y'all not showing up. How y'all let this happen? That's what he's saying, right? So thank God nothing happened to Kendrick Lamar. But what if it had? So all these passes that DJ Academics has been getting to be this reckless, the same way he was when he was starting his career with the things he was doing with the people who were in different gangs in Chicago. All I can say is DJ Academics, and let's take the DJ out because what is he? I mean, really? Academics needs to be careful. He needs to be careful about what he's doing and what he's asking for, because it's going to be a price to pay for what he's doing. Even the karma alone for what he's doing. And so again, I'm gonna leave this live just being very grateful that nothing happened to Kendrick Lamar, because I could not even imagine if we were all trying to make peace with that situation. And I feel the same way. I don't want to see anything happen to Drake. We don't need another Tupac Biggie situation. And see, and that is why I have a big problem with Academics, is because he's fanning those flames to try to get the people who are associated with Drake and the people who are associated with Kendrick, to get those people riled up to have something pop off so he can have more content. And that is indefensible. So, while we talk about other people like in this whole streaming and content space who we need to get out of our community, like Vlad and people like that and some others, Academics is one of those ones. He is as talented as he is, and I will never say this man is not talented. As talented as Academics is, he is a detriment. He is a detriment, first and foremost, to himself. Because you'll never convince me that man is not an alcoholic. Okay. He is a detriment to himself, but he is also a detriment to the larger community. Because one of these days, some of these flames that he's fanning to try to get people to show up and do this and do that, and where's your integrity? Where's your pride? All that bullshit. Something's going to pop off that he can't fix and he can't take back. And I don't even think he would try to fix it. You know what his drug ass would do? He would get on his live and cash out and make content from it. So anyway, that's it for this live. If you stop by, if you're rewatching this, please give it a thumbs up. I didn't really mean to get upset about it, but the more I looked at those clips that I played earlier, I'm just like, I can't believe you're up here encouraging bottom 5 to do something. You're encouraging bottom 5 to do something. All I got to say is be careful, because that what you try to create for someone else may come knocking on your door. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for stopping by and spending a little time with me. I appreciate the support as always. If you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to the channel. Until the next time, bye, y'all.